Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge. Alright my babes, welcome to another seasonal anticipated book recommendations, and for this video we'll be going over the fall books that are coming. So August, September, and October books. August, September, October books, right? I like to go over the books that are coming in the next season so that you guys can add them to your calendars if you want, as well as if you would like to pre-order any of the books. I always have the links to them if they're up for pre-order, which usually most of them are, but some of them aren't yet. Because on this channel, I'm all about supporting the authors. Most of these authors that I'm going to be talking about are indie authors. Yes, some of them have made it big, as it were, but they still deserve our support if we like their books. So something you might not know is if you pre-order with either Barnes & Noble or with Amazon, you don't get charged until the book comes out. Now, this means you should track which books you are pre-ordering so that you don't have a big surprise for yourself, but it does very much help authors for us to pre-order certain books. It can help them rank better on release day, and it also just helps support who we love. So no pressure to do that, but if you're able to do so, it's also a great way so that you don't have to think about it. Once it's coming out, it'll just show up in your Kindle library or send itself to your door, right? Especially if you pre-order some with Barnes & Noble, you can get, the physical copy sent to you for those ones usually. But yeah, we're going to go over these. There is, of course, some overlap because whenever I do these, the next month's books, a lot of them are on my TBR, which I should be filming my TBR at the same time. So you'll see a lot of overlap with the September books. Now, the thing is, though, is that on my September TBR, I didn't put every single one of these books because even though these are books that I want to read, September has a very hefty amount, as you will see. I believe for September, we have almost 30 new releases that just I'm tracking. Plus, I have the Phantom Romance Readathon coming, so there's a lot. But these are all the ones that I'm keeping an eye on. Yeah, either way, buckle up, sit down, get your Amazon or Barnes & Noble open to at least add them to your wish list so you are aware when these babies are coming out. Now, I don't go into like full in-depth about each one of these. Some of them I just know some things about as it is, but I'm not going to be reading descriptions. You'll see, like, I try not to make this video be too long because it's mostly just a big, like, FYI, these are coming your way type of thing. But let's go ahead and kick off September with those releases here. So first off, there is on the 2nd, there is Milo by E.L. Lewis. This is a new to me author. I have an ARC of this book. I believe I signed up with the author agency. I don't know too much about it, but I believe it's a mafia one, and that's why I picked it up. So we'll find out. I continue to be on the quest to read as many new to me authors this year as I can, and that means some books that'll be on here I've never heard of them besides this, right? On the 3rd, we have Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. Sure, a good portion of us are excited. I am beyond thrilled that I received an ALC of this. I actually just got it the other day, so an advanced listening copy as well as a e-arc of it, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm honestly holding off because I still have some August books that I need to read, but it's tempting me. It's tempting me hard to read this. I believe this one is a single dad. I think it's going to be, I don't know if this one is a nanny. I actually don't know. I think it might not be. Is it a is she a celebrity? I don't even know. Either way, I know that this is part of this whole series is going to be single dads because there's a single dad bowling league and they're all single dads in different ways. And this guy, he is the best friend and brother of Rosie, who Rosie was the heroine from Wild Love, and then, that one was a best friend's little sister one, or best friend's brother, or brother's best friend, whichever way, but this one will be, is West his name? I don't know. Either way, I don't care. I'm excited. Elsie Silver, she really lets me down. There are a couple that aren't my fave, but otherwise I've really enjoyed everything I've read from her, and even the ones I haven't loved, she still has so much good in them. They just, I got a little bit tired of the Insta Lust. Why are we going into that in this one? Jen, stay on focus. But either way, that comes out the 2nd, or the 3rd. Ugh. Now we jump to the 10th, and there is The One I Didn't See Coming by Piper Rain. I will be getting an e-arc of this one. I did apply for the ALC as well, but I haven't heard about that one. I hope I do, because that's kind of how I've been consuming Piper Rain and P Rain books, is through their audiobooks, because I love those. But this is the 3rd book in the Plain Daisy Ranch series, and I think this is the youngest brother is who this one will be about. Should be good. Then there's also Truly, Madly, Deeply by LJ Shen. Now, I don't know a ton about this one, but one of my friends who works for Bloom told me that I might really like this one. You know, LJ Shen is hit or miss with me, but they are going to be sending me a physical arc of that one. So I was like, okay, talk me into it, give me a try. The book is really pretty. It'll have the sprayed edges, so I was like, we'll give it a go. I'm still always, like, that's the thing when I have an author that has hits and misses, is I'm usually willing to keep going. And I'm interested to see what a book from them that's coming from her directly from Bloom, how I'll like that one. Because Bloom, with a lot of these authors they've scooped up lately, there's going to be more and more books that are coming directly from Bloom for it, where we'll see a few of those in here, and that makes me very excited for some of those. Okay, then on the 12th, this is one of a couple days this month where there is a hefty amount coming out. So on the 12th, we have Hooked on You by Nikki Ash. I will be getting a PR box for this one, hopefully soon. This one is a double single dad with a nanny romance, and the cover, y'all, was just revealed, and like, I actually love this male model who's on this one. He's on a lot of mafia books. He has really beautiful eyes, and like, I'm just so excited for this one. This is the like whiskey or bourbon series or whatever. No, I think this one's the whiskey series. The bourbon series is the other author there. Just checking. Then there will be Temptation Trails by Claire Kingsley. This was on my list either way, okay? Getting ready to do this video. I was delayed a couple days from making it because I try not to do it like too early ahead of time. But I was so excited. She had just announced who this one is about. This one's about Garrett, another single dad. Very excited for the next one in this series. And then her assistant reached out to me and asked if I would like an ALC and a paperback copy of it. And I was like, ma'am, yes, please. Because I was able to listen to an ALC of book 1, but then I didn't get picked for book 2. And so I was like, oh, it's okay if I fell off of it. And then I got picked for book 3 again, and I was like, yay. So anywho, very excited. Hockey Boy by Brittany Nicole. This, I believe, is connected with her other series. And yeah, hockey romance. I don't remember what the other tropes are with that one, but I'm excited. Born for Silk by Nikki Harris. You'll notice a couple books I'm about to label that have been pushed a couple times. This one got pushed just a month, but that just happens a lot with authors who like have deadlines and then they're writing very complex big books. I rarely believe they're coming until they show up for me, but I will be getting an arc of this one. And for Nikki Harris, this is supposed to be like a fantasy dystopian one. It's going to be like an age gap, size difference. She literally put out a post showing the size difference. And it's like, I believe the hero is like over 7 feet, because it is, like I said, like paranormal fantasy. And I did get picked for the ARC team for this one, so very intrigued. Then there is In the Details by Julia Wolf. Look at this gorgeous cover. Oh my word. And I did actually just get my arc of this one. And this is another one that she always gives us plenty of times for her arcs. Like, we get a good lead time for them. And it's always so difficult not to read them, you know? Like, that was the thing too with like P.S. You're Intolerable, right? I read that book pretty much the day that I got it, right? I read it almost in one sitting, then read it again even before it came out. And I was just screeching about it to people for a whole month leading up to when it came out, because she gave us so much time to read it. And I mean, I just love that though. It's smart of her, because if you really love the book, like I was, screaming people's ear off to read it as soon as it came out, and there was a lot of you who did. So I hope I feel that way about In the Details, which is going to be Clara, which is Clara Rossi. So this is Luca's sister. And I had just actually reread Sincerely Your Inconvenient Wife, which is Luca's book. And in that book is when Clara is having her daughter. And she is actually going to be, I believe she's older than the hero, but he's also a single dad. So this is a double single parent. She is motorcycle riding, leather wearing chick. In Luca's book, he even talks about the fact that she rides her motorcycle a lot, or dirt bike, or not dirt bike, like her motorcycle a lot. But she was pregnant in that one, so we didn't get to see her do it. And I am like, because I believe what happens is that she hooks up with a guy at like a bar, and then he works for her. So she's the billionaire. They're both single parents. She's, I think, going to be working for him. I'm so here for it. Like, oh, even talking about it, I just want to rip into this book so bad. But I'm going to hold off just a little bit because, again, we have some to catch up. See, I'm already talking too much. We've only gotten through a few books. On the 15th, I almost don't even want to mention which book is supposed to be coming because I feel like it'll jinx us. But Between Fear and Favor, Jess is saying will absolutely be the time. I want to believe it so bad. So crossing my fingers, though, that we'll be getting the arcs for that soon. I just hope it's really, really, really good for all that we've waited. I believe in her, and I love this series so much. But at the same time, even as like a reviewer, to constantly tell you guys when the book is coming out and then it's not is very like disappointing. But she honestly can't push it anymore, or else Amazon is going to cancel. So I think we will get it this time. But she has said she won't schedule books anymore in the future. And like, that's okay. I think that is a smart thing. There's a few authors I know who have continually like disappointed people that they aren't going to be setting dates anymore until they know. And I think that's a great. Then there is another, the 17th, and there is My Favorite Boss by Melanie Moreland. I will be getting an e-arc of that one, and I'll be getting the audiobook, but not until the, if I'll read that one twice or if I'll wait, I don't know. But I'm a part of her ARC team, so I will read this one. This one is kind of a part of the series that like My Favorite Kidnapper was, but it's also not like connected. So it's going to be like a series that's like title connected, you know what I mean? But yeah, Billionaire. This cover is so cute, right? I actually had a couple of you say that you don't like cartoon covers, but you like these ones. And I agree, right? I'm not a huge fan of the like, the mainstream, what cartoon covers are, you know? But this one is so cute because it conveys the quirkiness of this in the same way that like My Favorite Kidnapper, like that was a rom-com, but it had kidnapping and it was really sexy, and like this cover fits that so well. So I can't wait to read it. Then we have a new to me author that I believe I signed up for this through, was it Nerd Fam? I think I signed up through Nerd Fam. So I don't know whether I'm getting an e-arc or a physical copy of this one, but I do want to read it either way. It's called The Raven of Greystone Castle by Melissa Kieran. And again, I don't have the blurbs for all of these, so you'll have to follow the link and go look this one up. But this cover is super cool. I can't remember if it's like witchy or like what it has, but I believe that it said it had gothic vibes. I think I could totally be making that up, but I believe that's why I signed up for it, because September is the readathon and we get bonus points for gothic romance. So I think that's why I signed up for it, but either way, it looks super cool, and I want to try it. The 18th, we have All Too Well by Corinne Michaels. I am on her ARC team as well. This is the start of a new series for her, and I can't remember if this one is single parent, but I know it's a firefighter, and is it a second chance romance? She's coming back to town to like write an article about him being a firefighter or something like that. I don't know. I trust Corinne Michaels at this point. The 19th, we have A Very Bellamy Christmas by S.M. La Violette. This, she has said, will be a full-length novel. So even though it is like a holiday-themed novel within the Bellamy series, it is a full book, she said, because she was writing kind of follow-ups for all of the characters from the first 4 books, right? So there's 6 siblings in this historical series. And the first 4 were the like oldest sisters, or like, you know, the age. And then there is still Catherine and what's the baby boy's name? I don't know, but the son is the youngest, right? And we weren't sure if she was going to give their stories because they're still quite young. So what she said in her, because I wish she had like a website that she updated, but she doesn't. But in the back of each new book she writes, she gives us like basically a newsletter in the end. If you don't know by that, always read to the very end of Minerva Spencer's books because she usually gives you some tidbits. Is that she was writing an update, and it's going to be 10 years later, or I believe it's 10 years. It could be less. I don't know. Either way. But the point is that the two youngest ones, they're going to be like grown up now. Like the boy will be done with school now. Catherine will be ready for getting married. So we'll have moved forward. And it'll be the oldest siblings who, you know, all these sisters are now married. Their parents are not good. Like if you've read the series, you know. And so they're going to be having this Christmas, and we're going to see where they're all at, as well as it's going to set up the last two books. So she said this will be a full book. I don't know what that entails for what the plot will be of it, but I'm very excited because I adore this historical series, right? This is a series that has very bad covers, but if I could make everyone who loves historical romance read this series, I would make you do it because it's a good series, okay? So yeah, a very Bellamy Christmas is coming. Okay, then on the 20th, we have Find Me Along the Shore by Angel Anders. This is the next one in her kind of like forbidden romance series she's doing. Remember, the first one was a priest romance, which I said was like, it's like intro to priest romance, if you will. Like it didn't feel too taboo or overly dark. Like it wasn't overly dark or overly taboo. It was great. But it's about, this series is a group of friends, and each one is a different type of forbidden romance. So the first one was a priest one. This one is a best friend's little sister, age gap. I don't know any more about it than that, but Angel Anders was new to me with that priest romance, and I loved her, so I'm going to continue to support her books. I did sign up for an arc of that one. Next, also on the 20th, is Loud Unspoken Memories by Samantha Christie. Yes, after reading Quiet Beautiful Things, I am ready to read everything new from Samantha Christie. I hope to go back to her backlist eventually because I know how much everyone loves it. I do want to read the Stone Brothers. I want to read those. But for now, I'm just going to continue with what's coming out because this one's going to be a single dad. I believe he's a widower, so he's very like, you know, sad, lonely, sad boy. And this is the Montana Brothers series. So the first one was the one, right, with the deaf little girl and the deaf heroine. And that hero, I think, was the youngest brother of the Montana Brothers, if I have that right. And this one is the brother who, like, he has not come back home to visit his family because of the loss he suffered. Then there is the 23rd, and that's Undeniably Infatuated by Jay Shaman. This cover was just revealed. I was actually waiting to post my Instagram post until this cover was released because I knew it was about to release. And very much am I looking forward to another one in this series, which has been rom-coms, but they're spicy and fun. And I don't even know what the tropes are for this one. I can't remember. I'm sure they're all fun and spicy, but it's a doctor romance and celebrity. They're like celebrity doctors, kind of. Not because they're like on a Grey's Anatomy type show, but because their families just, they're like billionaire doctors and stuff like that. Then on the 14th, there is A Jingle Bell Mingle by Sierra Simone and Julie Murphy. This is one that, like, I don't have an arc for. I don't know when I'll get to it. I actually still need to read last year's one as well. But I just want to let you guys know it's coming out because I kind of want to read both of these for the holidays this year. I don't read a ton of holiday romances, but I did really like the first one in the series. So I think it'd be fun to read both of them this holiday. So I will buy this one. I just don't know when I'll read it, but yeah. Then we have The Wraith King by Juliet Cross. I can't wait to get the arc for this one. I'm so freaking excited. This is the one that was supposed to come in January. And if you don't know the behind the scenes of that, like the book wasn't quite ready. Her beta readers, there was some things that needed to be changed about the book. But because she is now in contract with Union Square, and I think with Bramble, she's going to have the one too for her new series. She had to get those books written. She had to write the Stay a Spell spinoff, and she had to write the Firebird before she could go back and fix this, because this is her indie release, okay? So The Wraith King is coming in September, and I can't wait. So this is the one that the novella that was in A Lovely Dark connects to this series. So definitely check that out. The Finest Print by Erin Langston. I actually just got the ARC for this one. I am ready to read it. I am so ready for this book. I have the ARC of this one. And if you don't know, because I actually forgot this does connect to Forever Your Rogue. Okay, so this heroine, which I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but this heroine is one of the nieces, right? So Rosalind and the older brother, Edmund, they have two kids. And one of the girls, this is her story. So it only takes place actually like 2 years after the events of Forever Your Rogue. And so this is Nathan's niece, but she's not that much younger than him, right? Because Edmund basically adopted the two siblings, Nathan and his younger sister. So this book, I don't remember what she I don't think this has a series title with it, but The Finest Print, that's how it connects. So then A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan. So apparently this is a re-release, because I think Sophie Jordan released these under a different name at one point, because I did see book covers of all of them shared, so I feel like they were released maybe under a different name or whatever, but they're getting re-released with the publisher and they look really pretty, so I'll probably buy them. All right, then on the 25th, this was actually a last minute addition to this video. There's a book called Tell Me It's Right by Katie Westmer. Now, I have actually followed Katie for over 5 years. Before she was ever an author, I used to watch her book reviews. So she started a book review channel way back when she was in college, and she's written a fantasy series, a paranormal series that I have not read yet. I know it has vampires in it. I actually own the first 2, I think, on my Kindle. I just hadn't gotten around to them because I was waiting for the series to be done. But she also has a couple other books. She has one that is like a standalone small town, big city romance. And this one, she is starting up a new small town series. And so she had actually put out a call to see help with a cover reveal. And I was like, I'll absolutely do that. So I am sharing this cover with you now that isn't going to release until tomorrow. So, but it'll be out in the morning. So I'm just putting it in this video so you can see what it looks like. So this is a fellow creator. She's been an author. She now makes more author vlogs, but I've loved her journey. She used to always share how much she made from YouTube and how it worked. And so that was part of the reason I first followed her, is for that. She gave me a lot of behind the scenes insight that I really wanted. She has a new small town series coming, and I think this one says that it's brother's best friend or best friend's brother. Small town. She said the hero has Doberman vibes instead of golden retriever. So I guess that means more protective, a little bit grouchier. I don't know. I love Dobermans. Actually, my dad raised Dobermans for a short period of time, and that was really cool. So that made me happy. But yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys to support a fellow YouTuber and author, and she really is the sweetest. Like I said, she does have a vampire fantasy series. If you're not into small town romance, check her out. But yeah, I would love for you guys to pre-order her book and check it out if you're interested. I know a lot of us like small town romance, so that's why I was like, girl, sign me up for it. Okay, then on the 26th, we have Another Day with a Whole Bunch. See, we're still getting through September. There's a lot of fucking books for September, y'all. There is Beg for Me by J.T. Geisinger. I did request an ARC for this. We'll see if I get it. If I get the ARC for this, I'll read the second book before I read this one. I still have never finished the second book, but I do have the audio on my wish list that I think I'll grab it because I want to give this book a second chance. The second book, I didn't care for the first book, right? I didn't care for it. And so the second book, when I started it, it just felt, a lot of it was similar to the first one. So I was like, I'm just going to stop. I don't want to dislike J.T. Geisinger books. She's one of my faves. I don't want to dislike it. And so I put it on hold, and it's just been on hold all this time. And so I do want to finish that one. So I signed up for Beg For Me to kind of kick myself in the butt and get me to finish the second. But yeah, another billionaire romance. I'm sure it's an alpha bossy hero because that's what JT writes. And we're here for it, y'all. We're here for it. No complaints. Let's get on it, right? Sunday Morning by Julianne. Again, don't know what this one is about, but I did sign up for an arc. I've been rejected for the past few Julianne books, but they're always so pretty, so I signed up anyway. We'll see what happens. Blindside Beauty by Lex Martin. This is the next one in the Single Dad series that she's doing. Hyped for it. Let's go. Change of Heart by Bailey Hannah. This will be the third book in her Wells Ranch series, which I have really enjoyed both of the books in that one. So I think this one is a second chance. That's what the Change of Heart thing is. The 27th will be Cheap Heat by Lily Mayne. Yeah, she's given us some back-to-back releases here. She had just given us the Goliaths in Wrestling Book 2, which I do have downloaded. Haven't read yet, but I do have downloaded. And then Cheap Heat, which has a headless man, apparently. Look at this cover. So that's coming. Also on the 27th is When You Give a Lawyer a Kiss by Anne Einerson. This will be another novella from her, and it is about, obviously, a lawyer. And that one's coming the end of the month. And then on the 30th, I really, really want to read this one. It doesn't appear that there are arcs for this one, even though I asked the author if there was going to be, because it showed up on one PR channel that they were doing PR for her, but there was no way to sign up for an arc. So I don't understand why they said there were arcs, but then she doesn't have them. So I don't know what's going on, but I want to read this. Okay. It is a priest romance. The teasers for it have just been living rent free in my brain. I think it does have some magic that goes with it. That's what the vibes are. But it's a priest and his altar servant, and I'm it looks good. It looks spicy. He's a super sexy priest. So I put this on my list. We'll see if I get to it or not, but it looks good. Okay, moving into October. There is Slapshot Surprise by Melanie Harlow on the 1st, and I do have an arc of that one ready to go. Very excited to see Mabel and Joe Lupo's story. Okay, then there is Only With Me by Brooke Montgomery, and I will say I'm a little bit sad because I signed up for an arc of this one and I wasn't picked to do the cover reveal, so I kind of think I won't be picked for the arc. But you know what? It could be because I didn't love the last book. I didn't say the nicest things about the last book, and so it's totally fine if they don't pick me because I'm always going to be honest. But I will still read this one because this is a, what was this one? This is an ex's little sister, I think is what this one is, which is crazy. So very excited about that. And then The Scandal of Rose by Joanna Shoup. This is a novella that she's putting out. Don't know more than that. The Boyfriend Line by Lauren Blakely. This one was a recent addition to this as well because I just read The Boyfriend Goal and I adored it. Okay, I haven't reviewed it in a video yet because I just finished it the other day, but I loved it, and so I signed up for the arc of this one as well right away. It was great. Then on the 3rd, there is On the Wild Side by Kristen Proby, next book in her Wilds of Montana series. On the 8th, we have Monarch by Sophie Lark. This is the next standalone in the Greystone series, and I have been told that this will kind of be it. There's just going to be these 2 books in this town. I'm a little scared for it based off of how Greystone went. I've been very honest about that as well. I was not a fan of Greystone. But again, a friend at Bloom of mine who has read this already said it is very different. This one very heavily is more on the mystery of what's going on, which I'm excited about because one of my main complaints about Greystone is that these 2 barely even said hello and they were fucking each other's brains out. And not just in a one-night stand way. It was a tie me up, mark me, scar me, slap me, and they barely knew each other. And that freaked me out a lot because I was don't like this. But apparently the second one will be much more mystery based and everything. And I know I'm getting sent an arc of that one, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for it. On the 10th, There Will Be Secret Love by Willow Astor. I did sign up for an ALC and ARC of this one. I hope that we get that. This will be the next book in the Single Dads, what is it called? The Single Dads Playlet? No. Single Dads, I can't remember, but it's a Single Dads playbook. There it is, a Single Dads playbook series. Loved the first one and this one, so definitely hoping for more. Beacon by Claire Kent is coming on the 11th. Oh my gosh, we're finishing off the Kindled series, and I don't know if I'm prepared, okay? I don't know if I'm prepared for that to happen, but Claire has said, Noelle has said that she is doing a spin-off series that will start in 2025, and I hope there's a hint at like what that will be. Are we going to a different part of the country to see how they're handling it? Like, what will that be like? But at the same time, I am ready for it because it's been quite a few years now I've been reading this series, and Mac and Anna have just been floating in the background, and I've been waiting for them. So very much looking forward to see what Beacon will be. All right, then on the 15th, we got a huge list as well. There is Bull Moon Rising by Ruby Dixon. I will be getting an arc of that one. Just Between Us by Lena Hendricks, which is the next book in her Kings. Are they the Kings? Is it Royal King? Is that his name? I don't know. I don't remember. But the next book in that series. Mr. Heartbreaker by Piper Rain. This is the first in a new series. From Here to Eternity by A.L. Jackson. Yes, we're starting a new series. And this one is kind of a spin-off from her other biker series. So we'll see how that goes. Ruin by Jillian Eliza West. Oh my goodness. So I did sign up for an e-arc of this one. And this book, if y'all don't know, Jillian Eliza is the fanfic author who wrote In Silence and Submission, one of my favorite books of last year. This is her, like, her own book debut, right? Because authors don't make money off of their fan fictions, or they shouldn't be anyway. This is her book. Now, it is still apparently like inspired by like Dramini, so if you love her fan fiction, that's what we're getting from here. But this is her own take on it. It is being published with her name on it, Jillian Eliza West. So definitely go pre-order this, and if you pre-order it, she has some spicy art that she will send your way, which I did do, and boy, it is sexy, so definitely check that out. Then another new addition to this list is Waves of Fury by Kay Webster. Now, y'all know I love Kay Webster, but I haven't read much of her lately because she is just very prolific. She has books coming almost every single month, so many. This is the first in a post-apocalyptic series, and it's an MM romance, and I don't need any more. Also, this cover is gorgeous. Also, sign Jenn up. So I'm not signed up for an arc, but I will read this one. I'm sure it won't be too long. Christy doesn't generally write super long books, so I'm sure it will be great. The 17th, we have Bourbon Harmony by Walker Rose. I need to catch up in this. I'm behind by a book, but I really enjoyed Bourbon Runaway, and so I do want to get caught up in this series. Then on the 22nd, we have The Striker by Anna Huang. This is her series that it actually spins off of The Kings of Greed, and this is a soccer player, and I can't remember who the heroine will be, but I'll be getting an arc of this one. Very much excited. The Wolf of Mayfair by Christy Cadwell. I have an e-arc of this one already. And then, funny enough, I already had the e-arc, and Christy's like PR person reached out to me and asked if I wanted a physical copy. And I was like, please, ma'am, I will take it. So, got that. Icebreaker by Kat Mazira and Eliza Farber. I don't know too much about this one besides it being a hockey romance. I was offered a PR box for this one, so I'm going to try it. I haven't read either of those authors, so it'd be new to me authors there. And the last book of October I have listed is Dear Rosie by S.J. Tilley. This is the next book in her new series, which I do still need to read the first one, Love Utley, but I have that one, or Utley, whatever. I do have that audio saved, so I will get to that by the time that comes out. All right, then for November, there's just a few that are already announced that I have here. There is There is Married to the Devil by Lillian Lark is currently listed for November 2nd. Remember, the further out we get, the more things are subject to change because indie authors. As I've already said, there's a few of these that have been moved multiple times, but she has Married to the Devil listed for the second. I adore Lillian Lark. Her last book that came out, which was The Hoarded by the Dragon, is one of my favorite monster romances I've read. So, so good. The 5th, we'll be getting The Trist by Sawyer Bennett. This will be the 3rd book in the Bluegrass Legacy series, or Dynasty, whichever. And this is going to be Tripp's book. So one of the twins, I think. My Darling Jane by Ilsa Madden Mills. I actually have an arc of this one that was on NetGalley for a media download. So I was like, I'll take it. Give it to me. Hexed by Emily McIntyre. This one is supposed to be, I think, which one is Hexed? Is this one a Little Mermaid reimagined? I think it is. But either way, I love Emily McIntyre. Even though I haven't read every book in this series, I support her so much. I will read anything new she has coming out for sure. I really enjoyed both. I liked Scarred and I liked Crossed by her. And so I plan to read Hexed as well. The 6th and the 7th, apparently, I just have a feeling these will change around. But Mila Kane has a duet planned to come out in November. And she currently has them as listed as a day apart each coming out. I don't know how they can stay like that. I don't know what's going to happen. But she has King of the Cage and Queen of the Castle planned. These are her mafia books. Now, I haven't been loving her hockey books. And I fell in love with her for her mafia books. And then I read the hockey books and they were just okay. So I'm happy she's, like, there's still some hockey books to come out, but she's switching back to the mafia for a little bit. And I really want to read those. Then there is, currently it's titled Fake Game by Madison Fox. I did already read a beta copy of this one and really liked it. I reviewed it very briefly in my last weekly wrap up because of course I'm not going to spoil anything. November 19th, there is The Songbird and the Heart of Stone by Carissa Broadbent. Yes, this is a book that I know so many of us are desperate to read. It will be her return to getting books out after she had maternity leave and got picked up by a regular publisher, which then pushed everything back further. And so this will be the next book in the Crowns of Nyaxia series. This one is going to be part of, like, she'll do a duet that's about a different couple. I think this one is Mishi will be the heroine it's about. I don't know. I have tried so much to get an arc of this one. I wrote to them to try to get a physical arc. I was rejected. I've asked for an e-arc. Haven't heard anything, though I've seen other people get accepted, so I don't know that I will. But either way, if I don't get an arc of it, there are people who read arcs of previous books of hers that haven't got accepted because we obviously know that she just blew up so big. She was, I think, like the first fantasy, like indie fantasy that got picked up by Bramble. Like, they're just getting off the ground and everything, you know. But I will read it whether I get the arc or not. I'm going to read it the day it comes out. And then there is Broken Harbor by Catherine Cowles, because I did read both of the first books in Sparrow Falls and I liked them. So I will continue and read Broken Harbor of it. So, okie doke. Those are all the books for September, October, and November that I have on my radar. I will have links to all of them listed down below. If you're able to pre-order, it not only helps me, the channel, if you use my link, but it will also help the authors because pre-orders just help their book get hype. So thank you so much for watching, my loves. It means so much to me that you stick around with me through this, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.